This is listener-supported WFHB, Bloomington, Bedford, Ellettsville, Nashville, community radio for South Central Indiana, online at WFHB.org. What we are going to do now is shift gears a little bit, and we are going to bring in a new artist that I don't believe has been heard on the show yet. Zachary, would you like to come on, step on over and say hello?
Hello, Bill.
Hello.
Hello, Vanessa.
So, is this your first time here at WFHB?
No, it's actually the second time. The first time was a year ago with an old band I played with. We performed here. So, yeah.
Very
It's
nice.
my first one in the station at like 3 in the morning, almost. 2 in the morning.
Did you play live the last time you were in here?
Yeah. It was a live performance through this segment called Local Live, and it was with a band called Buttonhoof. Yeah, we played a couple songs in the main room. It was good though, yeah. But yeah, it's good to be back.
It's good to have you
around you, Bill. It's good to be back around you.
Well, thank you. This is my first experience with having some live entertainment here in the studio, so this is going to be super fun. This is already super fun, and I think we'll just do our best here. We're kind of limited on what we've got as far as microphones tonight, so we are going to make do with what we got. But I think it's going to come out sounding okay. I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit here. You'd mentioned video for this, and I wanted to kind of get a sense for what the process was like making the video for this. I've seen it, and it's a really well done. It's a really polished video, but it's got a real organic, sort of a homemade feel to it at the same time. And I kind of wondered where you'd gotten the inspiration for the idea to produce this clip. This was something that you'd done locally?
Yeah, it was done on the north side of town, out by Martinsville. But yeah, it was filmed by a local, producer, Brian Cox, under the name Hidden Hand Films, and we just got together and we listened to the song, and we wanted to basically take nature and incorporate the concept of nature into the film as much as we could. So we just kind of hiked into the woods for a couple hours in the snow and the rain, and just got a bunch of B-roll and just kind of went for it.
Yeah, that's a cool piece of land out there. I've been there.
Yeah, it's
too.
beautiful. I mean, thick woods, some hills, beautiful prairie. But yeah, it turned out pretty good, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a really cool clip.
Thank you.
I thought it was nicely understated. You know, like it was tasteful.
Yeah,
It was cool.
Brian did a really good job with editing and different shots. Yeah, it turned out, I mean, yeah, the song is so different when it, I guess, starts so classical and gets really intense and edgy at the end. And I think Brian was able to capture that really well. And yeah, I'm really blessed to know him as an artist in town. And he has been basically a second bandmate, and yeah, with my music. So it's been a really neat experience.
For sure. It seemed like you guys were pretty well in sync. I mean, that wasn't the only video you've done, right?
No,
I mean,
we are in the process of doing another video with another song of mine. The song's called World Pride, and we're shooting this video out at a farm on the west side of town. The farm's called Strangers Hill Organics, owned by a bunch of shareholders in town.
Which might sound familiar to you blooming food shoppers and folks.
Yeah. George Huntington, the GM for Blooming Foods, is a shareholder out there. But yeah, we're shooting it out there, and yeah, working with Brian again. It's been beautiful. I mean, the farm was settled around the 1900s, so some of the structures out there very old, to say the least. And so capturing the aesthetic and a visual sense of the historic side of the farm and mixing that in with the song, it's just been really neat, I guess. Yeah.
Are these the first videos that you've shot? Have you done music videos before?
With other bands I have, but I've never had, I guess, to a certain degree, full control. And working with Brian, we are like twins of one another, and we always just see eye to eye with everything. He's like my twin brother when it comes to like artist stuff, I guess. But it's been a really neat experience working with him. So
We got your visions dovetail.
they do, yeah. It's hot, yeah.
Speaking of hot, I want to know what your influence was for for your makeup, your blue eye makeup.
Yeah,
in this video for Seed.
I think a lot of that has to do with how I was raised. I mean, the music my parents kind of, I don't know, laid on me at a very young age. Some of it was glam rock influenced, and a lot of artists back then, they took the initiative to dress up when they played, and I don't see that happening very much anymore. Bands just kind of do the routine of going on stage and doing what they feel they need to do and what the audience wants them to do, but bands don't really take the initiative to kind of visually represent themselves by, I guess, dressing up like David Bowie did, as an example. But so I'm taking that and kind of mixing that into what I do, and it's been really fun wearing outfits. So makeup. Yeah.
Have you worn quite a few outfits during this the making of some of these videos? I mean, recently?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's actually Brian's wife, Kara, helped do the makeup for the Seed video, and we spent like an hour doing makeup before the shoot, and it was really fun. I don't know. I love the flamboyant, colorful side of dressing up as a male artist. So it's fun.
Yeah, and you've got a good point there. That is something that you don't really see as much, with a lot of male entertainers these days. We've lost our grip on the kabuki.
Unfortunately, we have. Yeah.
No, seriously, I like the way that you do these things though too, because it's like I don't know. You'd have to. Can we talk about your website or like what the Zachary Walter's music?
Yeah, ZacharyWalterMusic.com. Yeah. Yeah, that's online right now, but it's being rebooted essentially on March 6th when I release my record. Nice. But yeah, a lot of all the pages within the site, there's like a release page, a community page, etc. But each page features a shot from a different photo shoot I've done, in the last year or two, and it's all wearing customized clothing and customized makeup, I guess. Yeah.
Now, who's designed these things?
I have.
Wow. Okay.
It was all hand sewn, and everything was just done by what I wanted done, essentially. So I wanted to be as weird looking as possible. Yeah. I wanted Mel Gibson to be jealous when he saw me. Yeah.
I was gonna say you look like a stylish Braveheart in the video for Seed. Seriously.
Thanks. Yeah.
It looks good. It really. Do you know what I mean by like understated? It just looks good.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I just don't think. I think music has become very routine when bands perform, and I think everything's become sort of linear, to a certain degree with bands. Bands they sort of like find what they're good at and they just stick to it, and they're scared to do anything outside the box. I feel, percentage wise with music out there, but that's something I don't like to do, and I guess dressing up is part of that concept that I'm, targeting. So, yeah.
Let's talk about your sound. I love it. I love the. I've thought it sounds kind of cheesy, but I think of it as a very lush, orchestrated sound. Thank you. It's no, I mean, it seems very layered and very well, it's pristine.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is this something that do you do a lot of this stuff? I mean, you're kind of this is a solo act.
Correct.
This is all stuff that you've done yourself. You're putting together a really layered sound and kind of working on top of things that you've done.
Yeah, definitely. It was a 10-year long project, basically.
Nice.
I moved to Bloomington 10 years ago, and my whole goal was to create music. And through the years, I've played in other bands, and
Sorry, we got distracted. It looks like there's actually a fire truck outside the Firehouse. This has never happened before on Theme Radio, or any other time I've been in the studio. So this is pretty neat. Let's just not pay attention to the sirens or the whatnot. They're going to have to break in here to shut us down. So, but anyway, so this is. Do you feel like you've found the sound that you've been looking for on this record?
Not specifically. I mean, I'm really happy with what I've accomplished with these 8 songs I'm going to release, but I'm really excited to dive into more music. With my next albums, I guess. I don't know. I'm extremely happy with how it turned out, but yeah, I have more ideas basically, and yeah, excited for the future.
When did you start playing? It sounds to me like you've been playing since you were born.
Well, yeah, I picked up the drums when I was in 4th grade, and
Drums, really?
I remember my parents buying me this drum set that was from J.C. Penney's, and
Nice.
yeah, banging away in my room. And middle school I picked up the guitar and bass, and high school I started playing piano a little bit, and moved to Bloomington and started just expanding more and more. So. My first band was in, I think, like 5th grade.
Wow.
And started playing shows in 5th grade. But
What?
Yeah, it was just always something I just gravitated towards. It just always made sense, I guess.
Playing for cookies.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it was just like playing at like youth group in church.
Nice.
Like growing up in northern Indiana in a small town. Church was very, very important to the community, and so everyone was involved in youth group in some form, and started playing shows in front of the youth group attendees, essentially, and in front of the congregation. So that's where it began, I guess.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Wow. That brings me to something else I was kind of wanting to ask you about. You're from Warsaw.
Yeah.
And have you played around the country quite a bit? I mean, have you been like outside of the Midwest?
Yeah, definitely. The last 3 years, I was a full-time touring musician, and I played everywhere except the West Coast, in three or four different bands. But I think, and that's another reason why it took so long for the record to get done, was because I was always on tour, and all the time I was home for maybe a week out of each month. For 3 years, and that was to donate plasma to to get
keep
money
the van
for
on the
tour.
road.
Yeah. But yeah, just always just submerged in the culture of music.
That sounds. Yeah, I mean that's what you got to do. That's part of the game plan.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. It was a good learning experience.
What do you think about the Midwestern music scene? I mean, is there anything? Do you think this is like a fruitful scene for new and original music?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going on everywhere. I think with the internet, it's exposed different styles of music that normally people in the Midwest wouldn't know about, like music that's going on in Australia or Africa or something. Like we're exposed to everything, and I think the internet has kind of influenced and inspired musicians across the world. And yeah, here in the Midwest, you would think we would be closed off from a lot of the world, I guess, around us.
Landlocked.
We're landlocked, yeah, but that's not the case. And yeah, it's the music scene here in the Midwest specifically. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's ranging everywhere from hip hop. The hip hop scene I know in Indianapolis is growing. It's just everything is growing, quickly, and it's nice. Yeah, it's good.
And exciting to be a part of it,
It's
right?
really exciting to be a part of it, yeah, and it's been a pleasure the last couple of years.
I'll tell you what, we're coming up on 2:30 here pretty soon. It's 2:27. I was going to play one more track from your recordings, and then I thought we might jump over to having you play some stuff live.
Okay.
And we're just going to do the one thing. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting ahead of myself. This next track that I've got queued up is "Boy Wolf Howl."
Yep.
And I was wondering where this, where did you get your inspiration for the title for this one?
Yeah, I would, to be very truthful, it was probably The Lion King. I grew up like every kid watching Disney films, and I remember I was always so. I don't know. I always gravitated towards the score of all the films. It was never the storyline for me, and so I think with this song specifically, it was Disney music that really inspired me to write this track. I'm really excited with how it turned out, I guess.
We have got Zachary behind the pump organ. This is a piece of work. You said you got this from Bedford, right?
Yeah, through Craigslist. Yeah,
decent.
A year or two ago. Yeah.
So it's even a local instrument for the most part. Man, decent. I like that. Do you have any idea what year this thing was put together?
So this was created. I think it's from like the 30s, but the company's called Etsy, but it's a revival pump organ that they took around the battlefield in like World War I and II, that they would hold sermons on the battlefield for the soldiers, and so they would use this instrument. It's called like a fold-up pump organ, but yeah.
I've heard this thing. I think it's super awesome. It's got a neat sound. What is this piece that you're going to play?
It's a song called Consciousness, which is not on this record, but I wrote it for a film that is in the process of being created, and it's going to be in this movie that will be probably out in the next 3 years.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. So I guess without further ado, let's bring it. I'm going to turn these mics way up so we can capture as much of your audio as we can. And I think we're going to be in good shape. I can hear you okay through my phones. How's that sound through the speakers? Can you guys are you hearing yourself through the speaker? No. That's because I'm on the air, right? I went to school. All right, let's. All right, I'm going to turn the mics way up, and we'll just. I might run him back and see how it sounds in the back. But I think we're good. Just let it rip, man. Let's go. Okay. Nice. Man, awesome. Thank you very much. What was the title of that again? Consciousness. Okay, gotcha. That came through really nicely. I love the sound of this organ. It projects pretty well. Good stuff, man. When consciousness, is there any kind of like a specific subject matter about this track?
When I wrote it, I was imagining myself in the woods, basically, and surrounded by animals.
Nice.
There's no lyrical content; it's just chanting. But yeah.
You do. That's kind of a theme that you seem to incorporate into a lot of your visual art as well as your music. You know, is sort of reflections on nature and a consciousness, if you will, of the world around us. Which I think, given our social circle, that's something that kind of comes up with a lot of a lot of us blooming Fujians and people of that ilk. When did you start writing your own songs? I mean, when did you start writing original material?
I remember when I was in 6th grade, I was creating these songs, sort of my own songs.
6th grade, man.
And I just remember even playing with other musicians. It was really fun, but deep down it never felt right. So I don't know. I think like being able to have full control over my own music is very important to me, and it just always felt natural, even at a very, very young age, and always was really exciting to do.
That leads me to my next question, actually. So you've been involved with a lot of different projects. I know of a couple that you've been involved with. Recently, you've been playing with the Aquaholics for about a year or so.
Yeah, roughly.
And if you don't know the Aquaholics, that is a local surf rock band, surf punk. I'm not sure. I never know what's a...
Yeah, it's, I know we feed off of a band called The Ventures a lot, but I would say, like rock and roll for sure, but it's more traditionalized surf music from the 50s and 60s that we write. So that's really, I've never done anything like that before, and I never thought I would ever do anything like that because it's kind of silly, Well, but it's been a really fun outlet.
It seems like you've brought a lot to the band, and you've been playing mostly. Is it mostly bass? Do you play?
Yeah, just bass guitar in that band. Yeah.
You're so versatile, man. Like you jump around. I know that you play keys really well, and I've seen you play bass. I've seen you play. I've heard about you playing drums. I haven't actually seen it, but I heard something about a show that you did some time ago. You impressed some friends by, I believe, you were doing some like flips in the air with some drumsticks or something like that.
Yeah.
A while back.
Yeah.
But so
called the Empires. Yeah.
The Empires.
Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah.
What was the?
The Empires was it's not a band anymore, but it was a rockabilly band. Basically.
Nice.
Yeah, and I played drums. We took a lot of influence from the Stray Cats, and so in that band I was doing stand-up drums a lot.
Wow.
And that was really, really, really fun. Yeah, I missed that band, but yeah, it's good.
But you feel like this is your first solo project, right?
Yeah.
Like full on
Yeah.
solo project.
Yep. Full on having, there's a couple instruments on the record I don't know how to play, but I was able to compose the music and arrange the melodies. So yeah, cello, violin, and French horn and trumpet were the main instruments I didn't know how to play. But so I brought in friends. But besides that, everything else was it was all me, and it was really, really fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
So the album comes out March 6th.
March 6th.
Right now, what is available is Seed is available on.
Yeah, you can download for free the single, which is called Seed, on a website called Musical Family Tree, and but yeah, that's available, and the rest of the record will be available on March 6th, and you could just visit www.ZacharyWaltermusic.com, and that will guide you on my journey.